Well, by that sound, I'd say it's time to do some... I mean... Is it time to do Nioh? It probably is. I don't know what other time it could be. I mean... Yeah, let's just jump in. Let's just jump in. This is all good. Speed capturing all fine. There you go. You're now able to see. It's just like the intro thing. Nothing exciting going on. Just need to put myself in performance mode, so this actually runs. Grab my controller off my windowsill because apparently that's where I keep it. Yeah, let's jump in. Now, last time we switched over to using a spear. I like using a spear. It was a good time. Like, it has wider sweeping attacks. It also did a decent amount of damage at a decent range. Like, it was just quite nice. I'm gonna need to experiment with it more, because, I mean, big swords, a fun one, high damage and such, but, I mean, spear's also pretty good. Now, something important. Ah, hello Dullahan, good to see you. How you doing? You doing good? It's been a while. Did you manage with, I believe it was exams last time I saw you during the Hollow Knight stream, if I'm remembering correctly. They go well? Because I imagine you've got your results by now. I'm hoping it went well for you. But now though, we are just everyone's favourite, honestly quite questionable samurai man. You don't need to question him though, it's fine. We're just gonna kit him out. What can we give him? Let's make him dress up as a ninja. You can dress up as a priest. You know what, let's go for a priest. That's a good one to start with. I don't use the money in this game for anything else, so I might as well. It's like about fits a costume. Next item, the helmet. Ooh, helmet's a tough one. Last time your free was Christmas. Got all these! Ah! It's brilliant to hear. Sounds like the effort you put in paid off. It's always good to hear. But yeah, hopefully that means now you've got a lot more time to just relax. I mean, seeing as you're able to waste time coming along to my stream, I mean, that's probably a good thing, isn't it? It's always nice that period after you've had your exams and such, just relax. Time's been exams, you're free to watch my streams. Ah, good to hear, good to hear. Next exams, you're like finals then, I'd imagine. Because I know, at least here in Scotland, I don't know about the rest of the UK, we have prelims, which are your preliminary exams. Basically, it's test exams to see how you're doing, if you're going to cope well with actual exams, all of that stuff. We have those around Christmas, and then a bit after Easter, we've got the actual exams. So I'm assuming it's going to be roughly the same? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. For anyway, I'm just going to load into a mission, because, I mean, that's all good. But yeah. This game, it's a weird one. It's a lot different to Hollow Knight when you were last here. It's like Japanese Dark Souls, pretty much. And also, what the hell's going on? There's a lot of fighting happening somewhere, and I'm not allowed to go that way. Ah! The fighting's all down there. It is demons versus actual people, it would seem. It's always fun seeing multiple factions fighting. You know what I'm supposed to be doing? Mediate between them. Okay. Serious think I join forces of filthy yokai. Okay. We're shuffling fear and soul. I teach his yokai their place, come with me. Okay, he's now following along with me. I kinda just wanted to walk past him. But I've apparently got a friend. How lovely. I do enjoy having a friend. Anyway, I want to upgrade... What is it which upgrades the spear? It looks to be Constitution? Skill? Skill as well. Strength upgrades slightly. I'm just going to keep going into strength. Strength's a safe one to go for. Let's just have a run along, see what happens. Because I'm a bit confused about this mission. I've got no idea what I'm supposed to do. What's it mean by mediate? Like, I know what the word mediate means, of course. But why am I mediating? I'm a little confused in that regard. Let me just murder some people though. It's always a good start when you can just shoot some people from a distance. Okay, let's try out the spear a bit more. We need to get more familiarity with it so we can level it up. There we go. Yeah, spear, I'm liking it. Mid-stance, like, it's got nice sweeping strikes. So one thing I was very much missing with the high stance on the Adachi, big sword. Like, it was nice being able to do big hits and just murder people straight up. Don't get me wrong. But it's also nice to have that little bit more mobility, which this spear definitely gives me. Anyway, time to jump into pit. Because I saw there was a chest to be had. Also, thinking this guy, I want to go over to high stance on the Adachi. Just let him do his job for a moment. And there we go. We've chopped off this monkey's horn, and down he goes. But I love the combat in this game. Combat just feels so nice, and all the weapons feel very much different from each other. Like, and no, that's the whole point of having multiple weapons in a game. None of them feel like they lag behind, and none of them feel like they're much better or worse than any others. It's just nice. It's a fun time. I do think I talked about a little while ago how I enjoyed the Surge for its combat. I do think I stand by it for the combat between big fights. Feeling, at least in the Surge, like it had more significance. In this, it feels like you are just going from point A to point B with various like obstacles in between who you just have to at some point overcome. Which, I mean, is fair enough. It's not really anything new to Souls-like, but in the Surge game, it was a lot more just combat in between, let you get your upgrade materials. It had you actively prioritising certain enemies to get their armour. You had all sorts of just extra stuff you had to keep an eye on. Always keep in the back of your mind. It was a good time. I miss the Surge. I might go back to some. I do think they released a pirate-based DLC. Like, that was not long after its initial launch. But I had pretty much played it as soon as it came out because I loved the first Surge so much. So yeah, I'm sure there's plenty I need to look at. Just murder this guy. Back away. Heal up. Okay, we're doing absolutely fine. Monkey's dead. Look at me go. Look at me go. Judging by the map, I've still got quite a ways to go. Like, I'm very much not done yet. Yeah, I need to head up that way, it would seem. I don't know if I like the idea of going up that way. I do have my friend down there, actually. No, I need to help my friend out. We're doing this, we need to do it right. Get my friend into it. Okay. We can understand him now. Help me, I'm starving, do something. Yeah, those guys, they are constantly starving but can only be like made full by, I believe, eating human flesh. So they eat the fallen soldiers in battle as they're fighting. It's a bit of a weird thing, but I mean, Japanese mythology is weird, so I mean, I'm not surprised. I like the Japanese mythology of these. They all actually have a meaning to them. Like, a lot of these demons and such in a lot of games don't have any kind of a story behind them. They're just demons who are there because... What's that? Having centipedes for arms looks scary. Of course, that's what you do. Like, there's no questions asked there. But no, like, there's actual reasons for this one. I mean, they might not be best reasons, but they are based in, like, real... Oh, can you say real? They're based in Japanese mythology. I don't think real's quite the right way to put it. But they are definitely based in actual myths. Rather than just, like, made up myths for a game. So, it's fun. It's fun. Having just that little bit of, I guess, learning to go along with it. I don't know if that's making a lot of sense. But it's good fun. It's good fun. Do have a grand old time playing. I also do like just how unsettling some of the demons are. Like, they've taken, I feel, a fair few artistic liberties with some of them. But like the small guys who need to eat human flesh in order to feel like full because they're constantly starving. Like, those guys have bloated stomachs because, I mean, of course, if they're constantly eating stuff because they're constantly in a state of starvation, yeah, that would make sense. Is it really something which I think's nice to think about? No, not really. But it makes sense from an artistic standpoint. Like, they do take liberties, like I say, but a lot of it, they just take it in the right direction. They base it off of the old drawings and such you've got from Japanese mythology. It's a lovely time. It's a lovely time. I feel there's not really enough Japanese mythology used in games. That might just be me. I do like mythologies of pretty much all sorts. But yeah, I do feel this game pulls off well, with one of the somewhat more underrated mythologies out there. Like, it is just fun. It is just fun. Be careful here. This guy's a bit dangerous. He's taking out my friend. Poor friend. Apparently I changed over my healing items, which was a shame. I didn't mean to do that. Just take out you still. Just using the spear to swipe at him. God, the Cyclops is a pain. There we go. You can shoot him in the eye occasionally. It does help. I didn't get the aim down quite right there, but I can do it here. There we go. Just murder. We are doing fine. I can't get a line of sight from there. I was pointing my gun into his crotch, which arguably would do a good amount of damage, I feel, but it's not the damage it wanted. Yeah, I also need to change my weapons. I kind of panicked in that fight and just changed all of my stuff around. Now I understand this guy too. He wants to crush everyone who's in his way. Fair enough, I guess. It looks like this is what we're going into. Okay, let me quickly learn some skills. I have spear skills. Maximum key, yes. Damage dealt from behind, probably no. I'm happy enough with my water wheel, so I don't need this. While guarding, I can do a leg swipe, might be nice. On the other hand, even more maximum key. I mean, you can't say no to better key management. I say key management. It's not exactly key management. It's more so not having to manage it because you have extra. So like the opposite of key management. Hit stance, increase my defense, I perform purification, perfectly timed key pulse. Okay, yeah, that one could come in useful. Also, we got titles, just quickly learn these. Minus elemental damage, sure. Alright, time to jump into what is probably a boss fight. Yeah, hello. I have to fight you, do I? Who the hell are you? I mean, he's murdered my friend quite adequately. That's not good. A friend's not supposed to die that easily, I don't feel. Okay, assist my friend, there we go. Any kind of a meat shield helps. Just do that, increases my defense briefly. He's just murdering my friend. That's not great. I also didn't notice that that had like a water AoE that you dropped. That very much is not good. I believe that lowers your defense or makes you take more stance damage or something along those lines. Can't quite remember. But god, yeah. He's very much just murdered me. That's fine. That's fine. Managed to make my way up to him. It's good enough for my first attempt. So to learn his moves, annoyingly he seems to be a kind of dex build character. I don't like having to fight the kind of dex based people. It's a bit of a pain. To attack quickly, and this guy has like long range as well. So it's not ideal. Okay, I'm doing relatively well. Good few hits in. Can I poison him? Yes, I can see. Isn't poisoned very easily though. If he keeps running around, that makes it even harder. Yeah, nah, he's not gonna get poisoned in time, is he? Alright, just try and murder him. Back away. No, never mind. He went in for a big flurry. And I'm dead. Okay, do I want to try using Big Sword? Big Sword could be the way to go. Heal against Dex build though, Big Sword's going to be too slow. As much as I love using Big Sword, I don't think I can use it in this fight. I'm going to have to use the spear despite it arguably being worse. I don't know. I don't know about that. Apparently it has lower damage on it, so I want to assume it's worse. I don't know if that's actually true. Like, it seems to do a good job, the spear, like, despite everything. God, he almost murdered me. I could get lifesteal on him, that might even help my friend. Just... there we go, apparently I was slightly out of range from the previous one. Okay. I'm just working on you, Dillhan. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Need to try and get this guy dead. I also need to try and help out my friend if possible. Just get him back up. There we go. Okay, maybe that was bad timing because he's immediately being murdered again. I apologise, my friend. You're kind of being put into the thick of it, aren't you? Okay, come on. I can beat this guy. It's kind of like a kappa, he's got a shell in his back. I don't know much about him, it has to be said. But we're doing well. Okay. It's about half health. My spear's gone into his yokai corrupted form, so it does better damage currently. So need to be careful still though, because this guy does really like murdering my friend as well as me, given a chance. So need to wait for stamina, need to roll away, and I need to heal. Okay. Chuck in some poison. That's done nothing. Okay, back away. He's low enough health. I think I can do this. This has to be a good move. Come on. There we go. Transforming into my yokai form. It's kinda cheating, I always feel, but it's worked. It's worked. You're a damn yokai, but I'm impressed. Here for your troubles. Ah, lovely. Give you a commendation. That's nice. I feel a bit bad siding against the yokai. I didn't know I was picking sides in that. But this guy called me a damn yokai, and I think I accidentally sided with him. Fine, I'll defer to you on this occasion. Let Lord Koroku live to see another day. Must say it's impressive at your words, even to reach a feather-brained yokai, but make no mistake, I will never put my trust in any yokai. Be sure to pass that much along to Koroku. Okay, so neither of leaders died in the end, it would seem. That's good. I still don't know quite what I did. Into here, we need to go to the castle. We need to find a gift from your father, which I need to retrieve. Okay. I'm going treasure hunting. Treasure hunting shouldn't be hard, right? I'm just searching for a certain item. Also, I believe I got a new skill point for the spear, yeah. I don't know what to do. Well, full health, extra damage could be nice. You could also get, like, the charge. Could be fun. You know what? Yeah, let's just go for that. We've now got ourselves a leg sweep. That really the leg sweep? Look, that doesn't feel like a sweep. That feels like I'm just twiddling my spear around. I mean, apparently. That's your leg sweep. Got it. Let's go try and leg sweep some people in a minute. That does not look like a leg sweep. I'm assuming I'll transform into a better move if there's actually someone there to trip up. But we'll need to figure that out. Now, apparently, I'm not going into the castle for this. I'm going into the mines. I would have thought if I had to go collect some possession, it would be in the castle. Why is it in the mines? That confuses me. I'm not going to question it, but I am confused. Okay, let's try this. That does not work at all. I need to figure out how to do a leg sweep. Maybe it's only on actual humans and not the, like, demons. Such as this guy. So this guy's yokai or demon. Okay, probably go to skill customization, spear. Okay, mid stance while guarding. Parries an attack is what I currently have on. Okay, did I upgrade that one? No, but it can be upgraded. You know what? I might give that a go. Parrying sounds more fun than a leg sweep. We need to find someone with an actual sword or something to make any use of it. Be careful, because we're only fighting yokai right now. Yokai are always a bit dangerous. Yeah, like down there you can see one waiting in ambush. The one there that wants me to obviously go and attack. Well, I'll come back here later. There's a treasure chest in that room. We can't open it until we've cleaned out this, you know, like yokai, dark realm zone, whatever it is. So there's no point clearing the guys in that building out just yet anyway. Don't particularly want to regardless, because it's always a pain clearing out yokai. I might seem to be doing fine, but that's only because this is like most basic of basic enemies. Just be careful and Yeah, that's why we need to be careful. Okay. Can I... No. I tried to counter him. Or parry. Yeah, no, don't do that. That's bad. Okay. I don't know how you're supposed to parry, but it doesn't seem to work. You just die. Okay, maybe we just don't try and parry against the actual yokai. Maybe we wait for human enemies to do that against. Want to figure it out. I'll try it against you. You're not a tough one. Okay, apparently you can't parry if we do that big lunge attack. Now he's like eating a bit of me, he's become stronger. He's gonna do another lunge attack. Do you know what, just... I don't care enough to try and practice my parry against this guy. Oh no, he's got me again. God damn it. Okay, heal up again. We're gonna have to go back to the shrine in a second. So I'm messing around. I really shouldn't be, seemingly. Because this guy does a good job at just murdering me. Okay. We're doing fine. He's spitting out a paralysis thing. Okay. Be careful. I've not been careful. As soon as I say that, I fall off. Lovely. It's fine. It's fine. If I really wanted to be doing this well, I could go over to Vidachi. Vidachi is the weapon I've been using for killing demons. I just want to try using the spear a bit so I can get some talent points on it. Because if I get more proficiency in using a spear, that means I can more fancily use a spear. Which sounds like it should be good. I like being able to use a spear, but better. I very much should go over to this, because just look at this. That's him dead. Vidachi's just good at taking out some demons. Like, it's a good weapon for it. I guess spear might be for my more humanoid enemies. Which, I mean, is what I use my fists for anyway. So you know what, that's fine by me. Just try and take out this guy. I don't know quite what he's doing, but I know what he's doing now. It's a dangerous one. There we go. He's about gone. One last attack. He blocked it. Okay. And that hurt. Okay. One hit. There we go. We're fine. We're not dead. We're completely fine. See, I'm not panicking. It's all good. It's all good. Assuming it's that guy up there, he has seen me. Just take out the ranged one. There we go. This guy here. One, then follow up. Is he searching for him? Assuming he was eating the guy, not searching. Yeah, just some warrior monk hatchets. Nothing too good. Ah god, this guy, he's murdering me. How did he do so much damage in just a couple of attacks? I know it's a Souls-like game, but that seems unfair. Alright. What's up with this guy? Why does he have like an aura around him? I interrupted. What is he even up to? Is he just looting a guy? Because these guys are, I believe, bandits who ate the like spirit gems or spirit stones or whatever they are. So I guess they'd maintain the whole looting things aspect. That makes sense. Ah. Okay, what's gonna happen is that Grave's gonna wake up. Got it. Okay, yeah. These Graves are about to wake up. I kinda wanna lure her over. Let me just get the person who's making this a dark zone to come this way. I'll go over to spear because for this woman, we're honestly better off just having my faster attacks. My spear is decent range anyway. I can also just do that. Okay. We're doing well. What's she doing? She's buffed herself. God damn it. Okay. Be careful. This is exactly what careful doesn't look like. She's just stabbed me. Okay. We're getting close. She's maybe one proper attack away. Just... there we go. Alright. Got Soul Core. Do you think Killing was going to shut me up? Yeah, she's not happy about something. Yeah, these graves do come back and do PvP. Okay. I can do a bit of PvP stuff. I'm not very good at it, but I'm sure I can do it. Ah god, yeah, I'm really not good at it, am I? I should go over to Vidachi, probably. These guys are a lot more mobile than I'd like. Yeah, I can do this. But this is a good time to try and parry. Parrying does not work. God damn it, game. You've lied to me. Okay, I've got to try it. There we go. It does work. Look at that. Parry again. I need to time it just right if I'm going to parry. It's not easy. I don't even know what kinds of attacks I can parry is fine. Not that one, apparently. God, I'm burning through my healing trying to do the parries. Okay, I've got one again though. I'm getting a better hang of it. Okay, just need to parry once more, right? Okay, it looks like only basic attacks are parryable. So a big attack like that, I can't parry. Oh, it's so hard to do this. There we go though. I think I've about figured it out. I used way too many of my healing items, oh god. That's not good. Do I want to go back and try and murder some easier guys just to get some healing? I kinda do. Just quickly run all the way back. This is fine. I'm not just running away. I'm being sensible for once. Like, I'm barely ever sensible. I've almost died from my alleged being sensibleness. Okay, this guy's turned into big one. That's all good. Just stay away from him. Okay. There's one last hit. He's gonna lunge at me. There we go. And we didn't even get any elixir. God damn it. I took a hit, but I never even got the thing I needed. That's a real shame. I mean, I guess heal up again. Some of these graves want to fight me, so I'm gonna have to fight some of them. Was it this grave around here that wants to fight me? Yeah. I'm gonna give up on the whole, like, parrying thing. It seems a lot easier to just, like, murder them with this. So I've got a slightly better reach than them with Inidachi. Like, it does a good job to just murder them. Like, look at this, it's so much easier than trying to parry. Like, look at him, he's about dead. I haven't done any fancy attacks either. Look at that. He's just gone. He's just gone. God damn it, I should just use the Inidachi to begin with. But I like the spear, it's got all the fancy, like, twirly attacks, such as that. How could I not want to do a big fancy twirly attack? At the very least I do get a full heal. I topped up on... yeah, the elixirs I had in storage. Not quite all the way to max. Hold 8 at max, I've only got the 6. Have I got, like, the benefit for finding elixirs even turned on? Like, if I... Is it make offering? Yeah, receive a blessing. No, I do have the healing blessing. It's apparently still working. It's not doing anything. We'll go to the bazaar, I guess. Anything in here we'd want? I mean, more elixirs, you know what? Just top up on them. Why not? Top up on some arrows. Yeah, that should about do. Something I've been meaning to do for a while as well. Ready jutsu. Do we want Medusa? Medusa powder sounds better to me. If I do this. Still can't equip Medusa one. Would equip the one Medusa? It's not great. It's not great. I might invest more in like the ninja arts nonsense. So I'm just not able to actually use any of these things. I'd like to have the Medusa powder instead, because that means I get, rather than poison, paralysis I can throw onto enemies. Which sounds better to me. I've got my burst counters a bit better now. That's good to see. She's trying to poison me. Just get her to move over here. Dodge that attack. A couple blows in. Didn't quite dodge that one. Okay. Still fine though. She's gonna try and grab me. Okay. I need to heal. I need to heal quite badly. Okay. Doing fine. We've got her ready to just be murdered. God damn, if I got my proper, like, attack when she was down there, I would have done so much better, but we've killed her anyway. I still hate those snake women. We've had to deal with them for a while, so I would have thought they'd be easier by now, but no. They just murder you. Because sometimes they chuck in that extra one attack. Not all the time, but some of the time it's just enough to throw me off. It's a real nuisance. Yeah, in here... Yeah, how many, like, dead bodies there are? I expect there to be something going on. Just murder the guy in the ground. Just get rid of you. There we go. Now we have snaky women. We can take care of you, no worries. This is fine. My weapon speaks to me. That's good, it means I've got better damage, briefly. Okay, just be careful. Need to wait for my key to come back. Okay. We're doing well. Got a lot of her, like, key or stance or whatever you want to call it broken. Although she's about to get me, isn't she? Luckily she's done a dodge beforehand, so I was able to just get away myself. Did one last hit. There we go. Fine. She dropped an elixir, and... oh god, we're not done yet. Okay. Take out you. Just an old woman. I can kill an old woman. Probably. That doesn't sound hard. It does sound hard as having to fight an old woman while there's another person wanting to murder me. Is this where poison powder is going to be what I need? I don't quite know. I don't like fighting in this tight space. Like, it's not too tight a space, but for fighting a group of enemies, it's not ideal. Okay. I can get her to... never mind. I was going to say if I could get her to commit herself to the attack and maybe do something about the Gaki in the ground. Small fella. Apparently not. Okay, now we know what we're running into. I should be better off. Just murder you quick. Doing fine. I say as I get hit, but we're fine. Not taking much damage. Got the burst counter wrong, we might die here. No, just I've managed to not be hit by that. Okay, that's lucky. Heal up. Burst counter that. Yeah, now I've got the healer. And I didn't think she'd be able to hit me from that range. You need to remember, you need to try and dodge behind her when she does these things. That usually helps. Yeah, no, I hate snake women with a passion. They're such a pain. Why are they so hard to fight? I don't know why I struggle with them. I really don't. I think it's just the fact that they have such wide sweeping attacks. I find it hard to dodge. Like, it's got to be something like that. Like, if it wasn't for the wide sweeping attack, I could just dodge out the way. It'd be far, far simpler. Am I meant to block them maybe instead? That could maybe be it. Blocking seems to do a decent job there. Okay. I might try and do blocking a bit more then. I usually don't block just because in games like this it's usually better to avoid all damage than just avoiding a small amount of the damage. Especially if they have like a flurry and they just like wedge you in or something with like staggers. Yeah. Spear, I like it, but I don't think it's the weapon I need for fighting yokai. I definitely think it'll do a much better job for fighting human enemies. I've just been straight up by the snake women. God damn the snake women! I can't take them out. I really can't. I shouldn't be struggling this badly. I really shouldn't be. Like, they're not too bad, usually. It's a fairly common enemy to come across them. They have so much health, they don't have any weak spots. Like, normally a lot of these larger enemies have a weak spot, like glowing yellow, which you can break. Like the old woman one has yellow horns. It's a high hitting attack. So you hit the horns, they'll break, they get her like key down, or stance, or whatever you want to call it. Like, it should be fine to just not have to worry about weak spots, but they really do help. Okay. Fighting this person again is fine. I've reached maximum familiarity with the spear, so I'm now dealing the best possible damage with this that I can. In comes Snake Woman. Yeah, I'm gonna try and block him. I think blocking might just be the way forward. Blocking that poison might not have been the best move ever though. Okay, managed to counter. There we go. Down she goes. Down she goes. In comes the woman. Murder old woman. Don't quote me on that. Please. Okay. Down she goes. Yeah. I like the spear. It does a good job. I'm not quite as used to it as I would have liked though. I hoped I would have gotten a bit more familiar with using it. Yeah, this guy here would be a lot easier to take out with probably the Adachi. But I'm not going to go over to the Adachi because I like the spear. It's good fun. Ouch. Okay. I didn't block that or anything. It's not great. Doing fine though. Burst counter when given a good chance. And this is a person who wants to murder me. Okay, I need to do a PvP fight apparently. Ah, I'm gonna die here. Why would you chuck a different guy at me when I'm about done with a big man? God damn you, game! That's just cruel. That's just cruel. Okay. Murder Snake Woman, come on. This is fine. Dodge away from that. Do a big flurry. There we go. They're now staggered. They're about dead. Just a couple hits more and I should be safe. Okay, now do a burst counter, then we finish them. Lovely. Okay, back into here. Just need to kill the enemies who appear quickly, is what I'm understanding. So if we don't kill them quickly, they get all sorts of friends who arrive. Okay, Snake Woman. I can take you out. This is fine. Just heal up. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Doing decently. Burst counter for that. Fine. Do get ready to block if I need to. There we go. Yeah, blocking's a lot better than to give it credit for. It blocks all damage at the cost of some of your ki. Like, that's honestly very good. Like, blocking all damage. That is as good as a dodge. Usually you only block a portion of damage, so I need to be blocking a lot more. Especially if I've got that counter I can, like, use. Like the, whatever that fancy one was it called Twirl with the spear? Where I can just kind of disarm an enemy or something, I think it was. Okay, Old Woman is gone. I'm doing fine. Down goes that one. Go over to the Adachi, we're fighting a big lad next. Here he is. Adachi's so much better for anyone who's like got a large hitbox. Look at me just murder. Okay. Down goes that guy. The Adachi's the one I need for fighting this fella, because I can keep my range. And ow, that hurt. He's a switchblade. Okay. There we go, he's on the ground, got a bit of damage in, he's been corrupted. Heal up. God, he can break my stance easily with his attacks. Need to be careful. Luckily though, this one seems to be doing lots of heavier attacks. So I can seemingly just wait for him to run out of stamina. Could also try and just keep my distance and get a few like shots in here and there. Could be nice. Then this should be it. There we go. Yeah, the Adachi's just good. I should really consider just using the Adachi. Like, why is it so much more powerful? I understand it has a scaling that's better suited to me, like the strength. Still. So we're learning that she had her doubts about an arranged marriage, but then came to like Lord Nobunaga. Usually has quite an icy temperament, but warmed up to him, seemingly. Speaking of warming up, my window's open and it's bloody freezing. I'm gonna close it quick. There we go. That's the window close. It is right next to me. My room is tiny. Okay, I remember I handed the stagger back to my father, unable to do with it what he asked of me. How strange I should hold it in my hands once again. I'm indebted to you. I wish to give you my switchblade as a token of my gratitude. Deem Lord Nobunagata is worthy of your loyalty, but take this weapon, and let it serve you well in your duties. But should you think I'm a fool? Well, in that case, use it too. No. That's enough. Please ignore my childish japes. Hey. Oh, that's us moving on to this next region then. I'm curious where we're going now. Because I've got no idea what's happening in the main plot of this game. I'm barely following what's happening. I think we're going after like some spirit stones or something. Anyway, the feature's success, Hideyoshi's reputation grew greater. Yet for all small victories, he was still a bit player in a much larger landscape, and I didn't get to read the rest in time. Sing a song. A short song.
わしは稲葉山の名を岐阜に改め、新たな拠点とし天下取りに乗り出す。さすがは我が殿。それっておい。はは。
Character is still really out of place here. With just his green screen in the face.
シャシャリでよって身の程をわきまえ。
藤吉郎の吉、秀千代の秀で、義秀、二人で一つの名を許す。ただし名は秀吉とせよ。二人で一つの名とは古今例がない。他に類を見ぬ働きが。
We've been given a new name as a group of two people. Oh, is that your way, Johan? Well, I'll see you about. Try and enjoy your class. I appreciate you coming by. It has been nice. Yeah, I'll hopefully see you around. Now known as Hideyoshi.
信長様は天下取りの第一歩として畿内の完全掌握を狙ってる。しかしこれを阻む越前の朝倉を討たねば西へは進めん。勇んで越前に向かったはいいが、遠征中に強報が届いてな。お市様が腰入れして同盟を結んだ近江の浅井が織田を裏切ったようだ。しかし苦境こそ好機。秀吉の名をさらに轟かせるためのな。
Hey, so we're being put into a new region. We've been pincered by two separate armies. This is getting interesting. I still don't quite know what's going on, but it's getting interesting. I really feel I should have a better idea of what's happening in this game. It's just hard to follow. At least in Dark Souls and that, there is no real story, so it's easy enough to follow along. You have like a few keynotes to follow along to. That's usually about it. This thing's supposed to have like a proper story. Also just got this guy, seems to be new. Hey, new character. Also wants to prevent the misuse of the spirit stones. Seems like he could be a decent one to have around. What point did I come in to save him? Yeah, right here apparently. Seeing those first two characters though, despite also wanting to stop spirit stones being misused, judging by the outfits the guys were just fighting, they're not friends. Like we're gonna have to go up against him at some point, I'd imagine. Or maybe make a like kind of peace deal, possibly. Nioh's gone to check out path ahead. Wait here for Tokichiro Korko. Okay. This way then. This way will let me safely avoid enemies. Lovely, I can just walk straight in then, right? Yeah, like hell if you walk straight in. I can try and counter one of these guys. Maybe don't. It's not going amazingly. I want to counter a man. Come on. Nah, that doesn't work. Okay, I might need to watch the tutorial on how that works. Because I swear it should be easier to counter someone. Okay, let's see. After successfully doing it, I can get even more attack power, but... Okay, video shows him coming in for a lunge. But I press it as it connects, maybe. That could be it. I could understand that. I do need to go for, like, one of these things. Which direction do we go? Increased grapple, final blow damage. Get. Increased thrust damage? We're not doing thrust damage. You know what? Just even more damage from full health. Why not? It will work. It'll work. Yeah, that dog. Always a pain in games, aren't they? Why can't we just have a dog who we don't have to murder? I miss having dogs you don't need to murder in these games. A helmet on as well, so I can't just shoot him. Do this thing, need to be somewhat stealthy. Stealth is not my strong suit. I think I might have managed to lure someone. judging by that kind of dramatic sound. Ah! Okay, no, I've not lured someone. They've lured me. Got it. It's just up there. Get a shot in that. There we go. Okay. Watch out for the dog. Wait for it to turn around. We've got a person just in there. Luckily I've spotted them. Okay. Take out the dog best I can. Not got a lot of health left. Just... the hell kind of dog is he? I don't know many dogs that can do a front flip while advancing in order to attack. Yeah, no. Now I don't buy that. Not for a minute. That's not a thing dogs just do. Also, how the hell did I get to this? I need to make a way around it, I guess. It's not going to be easy. Okay. Come on, I want to test out my new attacks on you. Okay, there we go. Got a parry in. He hits me. If he's not actually going to land the hit, I don't need to do a parry. Okay, heal up. I'm just practicing this currently, we don't need anything else. There we go. Got another one. I'm still not entirely certain how I'm doing it. It's not great. And he does just stab me a bit. Okay, I'm just wanting to practice my parries on you, my good sir. Okay, don't you dare do that again. Okay, he's just dead now. That's fine. It's fine. Let's keep moving forwards. Behind here? Got something? No? No, that's just a place with like some baskets, I guess. As you do. Oh, okay. Man down there. I think it's up here I want to go. Stab the man. Yeah. You know what? Parries don't need to happen. I'm gonna just go to skill customization, put on the leg sweep. It seems so much better. Like, just doing that. Knocking someone immediately to their feet rather than having to time anything. Like, I guess you don't get a damage bonus. Oh no. But I mean, at the same time, it's really massive. Like, a damage bonus is nice and all, but if you die while trying to get it, I don't feel it's worthwhile. I've already got a burst counter if I need it. Heal up. The guy with a spear in the back, so you need to be a little careful. Honestly, the guy with a spear is my bigger worry. Let's get rid of him. As for you, let's try the leg sweep. Yeah, leg sweep's just useful. Oh god, in comparison to that parry I was trying to pull off, yeah, that's so much better. Okay, I'm gonna stick to this. Thank you very much, game. Imagine not using a leg sweep. I can't imagine that anyway. Let's try against a guy in heavier armour. So this guy's got a big sword. Just leg sweep and stab. Leg sweep. No, you can't spam it. It stops you from doing that. Okay. It's a one-off thing. You can buy time for yourself by knocking them down. That's fine. Now I know how it works. I'm happier. Take out the guy up there. If possible. A dog we need to worry about. You know what, dog? Can I swipe you? No. No, I can't. Come on, dog. Just advance at me if you can. It just launches projectiles? What kind of dog can do that? I'm impressed. Also quite upset, because I don't think I can ever get a dog that cool in this game. Despite it clearly being something that exists now. The benefits of using the parry instead of a leg sweep is the parry does let you continually parry, I would imagine. It might actually not, which could be how I struggled with it so much. You know, that would make sense. That would make sense. Alright. Yeah, if that's the case, let's just go this way and keep on moving. Because we need to find new enemies to test it on. I've already tested it on most of the ones back this way. Not trusting this area. What's going to jump out at me? Something in a tree? No, it's just mushrooms. Is it so open? Let's keep my guard up. There should be something going on. Why is there so little happening here? What the hell is that light? Is that a searchlight? Ah, that's what it is. Is a searchlight. It's a searchlight owl, seemingly. I've just gotten rid of it. It's not dead, but I've gotten rid of it. What a weird concept. Having a light just which is an owl. Okay, another thing we need to test it. Leg sweep and you. Doesn't. Needs to be an enemy who has a prone state on the ground, who I'm assuming is a humanoid enemy. It's an enemy that can be knocked to the ground, I guess? Which means it won't work against you. It's fine. Can just murder this woman. It's like kind of what I specialise at, just murdering people who are roughly the same size as my character. There we go. Here. Do I want to equip a new spear? I know I found a new spear, didn't I? Let's see, what do we have? Gunthreader. Oh, it's tempting. In comparison, this one I've currently got's just better. You know what, actually? Yeah. With the bonus grapple damage and such, I do think it is better keeping the spear I've got. I need to switch it before too long though. Because while it does a good job, it's not the be-all end-all of spears. I like it. I'm not 100% sold, but I like it. I think with high stats would be better. I know high stats typically does have higher hitting attacks, ones that stagger enemies better. So maybe that is what I need. It's hard to really say for certain. Like, the spear, it's a good time. I'm liking it for its kind of crowd control and whatnot. Can I sweep you? Yeah, I can sweep you because you're just a dead human enemy. Okay, what are we doing next? I heard... Is that a Gaki who found me? It's not over this way. He's here. Hello. Where did you come from, my little man? Well, he's dead now. I also do have entirely thrust attacks, which I could try and use. Do I try entirely thrust attacks? That's just my heavy attack. I usually go with light attacks and just spam it for the most part. Here's. Let me quickly look back into this area first, because there should be a Kadama somewhere. Don't know where. There should be one. Ah, leg sweep didn't work. He's too large. Okay. Ouch, I tried to burst counter, that didn't work either. Okay, leg sweep again. Maybe I just missed it the first time. That definitely landed at that time. Leg sweep does not work against this man. And he's murdered me. Lovely. Lovely. I saw he was doing a big burst counterable attack. I assumed it was just his big slam though again. That's a shame. Right back to the very start of the mission. I feel I should have been close to a shrine or something. Okay, get rid of you. Leg sweep. Tail, and that man jumps in. Okay. Let's just back off this way, get that archer not to shoot at us. Okay, impale you. Ouch, that hurts. Okay, what if I just try my thrusting attacks? Yeah, thrusting attacks seem to be quite good. How does that work? I hit him from, like, hilt? Is it hilt? The shaft of the spear, I think's more appropriate, isn't it? I just thrust my shaft into... Apparently that's part of the combo. That's a kind of weird combo, really. It's alright. Let's keep going nonetheless. Need to be careful, but if I'm fighting one-on-one, careful is more than doable. I lied, I think. He's about got me. Stab, and then stab him more. Then grapple. There we go. Okay. Spear, it seems to have its more varied uses, with its kind of sweep like that, where you're slightly tougher, but more precise attack with the heavy one. Is that Owlback? No, it's not. Also, there's one of those guys up there. I want to go up to that house now, because I've got some items to trade in. That owl gone. But the enemy's just not respawned. So that's quite nice. Okay, managed to get a burst counter in eventually there. He's on the ground. I missed the opportunity to get the final blow. That's fine though, because he's going to fall down again. Okay, one last go. There we are. I like the spear. It's fun. It's not as good as the Adachi, but it's fun. And that's what matters at the end of the day, right? It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be fun. I'm trying to listen out for any Kadam, but I'm not hearing any. All I'm hearing is the occasional, like, kind of whistly noise a kettle would make. Don't know why that's a noise that occurs, but I seem to hear it every now and again in this level. I've been noticing it for a while, I never really addressed it. But I see a Kadama. I'm jumping down immediately. Hello, Kadama. I knew there'd be one in this area. It's too wide and open an area to not have one. Anyway, into this next part where, yeah, women with knives is my next concern. It's also apparently a Gaki. Just these small guys are too much of a nuisance. Thrust, and then continue to do so. Honestly, yeah, that breaks their stance pretty well. That's relatively quick as well. I might want to do that more often, you know. Just get her to come out. I need to do my kind of upward attack of doing this. That can break her horns. There we go. Now we just break her stance with this. There we go. Honestly, I think I found a good tactic for using this. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say it's a tactic I'll continue to use, but yeah, it seems quite nice. Now, I do want to drop this. If I could get a new Adachi, that'd be very nice. Yeah, accommodate me. You're gonna give me an Adachi. Little purple fella. You just... That's a lot of spirit stones. And hero's hatchets. It's a pair of dual axes. Fancy looking, aren't they? That's the first time I've ever got something that good. It was actually level 52 as well. I think it was. Yeah. That's very fancy. I didn't expect to get anything actually half decent from that. I'm not going to use it. But with the amount of spirit stones I got as well, I assumed that would be like maybe something less good, but no. It seems to me that's just like a certain probability of getting either more items or not. I got lucky, got a ton of spirit stones. Which I should really use at some point. Like, I've just not been using them for no particular reason here. Okay, ow! I was gonna say, can I knock him onto his feet, but no. He's just murdered me. He's just a rogue as well. Doesn't even have a fancy name. Can't believe it. Just dying to your bargain basement man. Just have a run on through. There goes the dog. 1, 2, 3, back away, because you got Axeman. It's like for X-Men, but he's got an axe instead. Not an X-Man with an axe, is there? If so, he needs to be called the Axeman. Just as a pun on X-Men. Yeah, honestly, just thrusting with the spear, it does a lot of damage. Do I have a point to put in? Because where was that thing for... Yeah, thrust attacks deal 2% more damage. Increase the force of your thrust while also extending the range. That was a mystic card. I want that. Yes, please. That sounds amazing. How the hell do you get that? I need to clear mystery mission, which I'm assuming would be the next way of the warrior. It could easily not be, you know. Because it's a mystic card. Whatever the hell that is. It is a mystic card. It sounds fancy. Kind of unique skill, I guess. I mean, gonna try and use it, given a chance. And this guy's going to me. I thought I might be able to sneak past. Okay. Go! thrust at him. It's lovely. Thrust, thrust, and thrust again. It's about broken. Yeah, get a grapple on now. That should be him. Honestly, yeah, the spear's a good time. I'm enjoying this now. Now I've learned to just use a strong attack. Because I was used to the Dachi where strong attack took up way more of your just ki, but honestly it looks to be about on par with the light attack. Like maybe ever so slightly more. But yeah, the thrust attack's a good time. Ouch. Okay, swipe didn't work at all. Why the hell did the swipe not hit him? I was literally next to him. Okay, there we go. Stab, stab, stab. Yeah, thrust attacks are good time. Okay. Just shoot you in the head. Get rid of the bowman. Guy on the ground. You gonna get up? No, he's just actually dead. Good to know. It's always nice to know a guy's dead in advance. It's one less person for me to have to fight. Up here, what have we got? There's an item. Travel amulet. That's a travel amulet. And honestly, it's probably something to put in here, which these things are a bit outdated. Yeah, when I've got like level 43 fam. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Like mask bonus thing as well. Oh, god damn. Keep pressing the wrong button and looking at these. Increase damage deal and deal with mask. Provides a chance of not consuming it on use. Okay. So that mask, if I'm thinking correctly, is the one that lets you pretty much use a flamethrower. That could be quite nice to use as a thing. I don't tend to use items just because the way you cycle through items in this isn't great. You've got two sets of things on your D-pad and you just get to switch between them. Knocks him on the ground while he stands up, takes some medicine. Thrust, thrust, and that's it. Just the two for now. Just be careful. Okay, there we are. This guy in here, we don't need to do anything fancy, you just had a horn. Thankfully I killed your friends in advance, there's not anyone coming to help. Good guy. I would say I feel a little bit bad, but I don't. He fully deserved it, and there's a Kadam in this pot. Okay, I went looking for something around the side of the building in case there's like a hidden, like, small chest or something, but no, there's a Kadama. I'm quite happy with that. It's quite nice. On the other hand, though, there's absolutely nothing down here. Unless I fancy jumping into a pond, which I can't see that I do. Like, of all the things I've got on my to-do list, jumping into a pond doesn't rank all that high. I got some cold feet in that matter. See, a little wet behind the ears, I don't feel I could handle it. Get it? It's a joke. I said wet because there is water in a pond. Just simply comedy gold. There's no one even here to appreciate it. There's no one watching the stream right now. It's just me on my own as usual. Can't say I'm surprised, but... Okay, now I'm surprised. The hell is that? Weak spots are its heads? Yeah, okay. Weak spots are the heads with eyes on them. Big rolly eyes to do that. You know what? If there's any time from the Dachi, this is it. There we go. Okay. Does water-based attacks. This is ice-based attacks, in fact. So chances are it's an ice element. So fire does a good job. Okay. Heal up. He's not as bad as I thought he'd be. Some burst counter, I blocked it, didn't actually counter, annoyingly. Okay, we're fine. 2 more hits. Possibly just one more if I get burst counter in. Yeah, there we go. Pass. No matter if nobody goes will stay under my watch. Hell was that guy? Why is he against Nobunaga? Nobunaga? I still don't know what it is. Yeah, he seems to be someone from the opposing army, transformed into yokai, but somewhat kept his senses and only wanted to fight Nobunaga's men. From that, like, female voice from the grave saying it looked like a dead husband. Possibly some man who died for the cause, but just wanted to keep on fighting or something, so came back to life. I'm not sure how all of this fits together, but that's my best guess. Doesn't make a lot of sense. That doesn't have to make sense, it's fine. Let's just climb a ladder, because we can. Whoa. Let's drop down. There we go. Okay. What's this pot? Don't know, but I burst it open. I was assuming it was going to be like a bad pot. Maybe it's like a healing pot. It's your son. I mean, I'm not your son. That's what's been honest. At least I very much doubt it. We already established a rough idea of who my dad might have been. And they very much died. And my mother was a yokai. So, yeah, chances are slim. They're slim. With that being said, my mother was actually a full-on yokai. How would that work? I don't think I've seen any yokai who are actively, like, able to be a human. Like, I've seen some that hide inside of a human. But, yeah. I've never actually questioned before the plot. Maybe I should have. Okay, thrust. Thrust attacks do a lot of damage. They're not as, like, wide-reaching. It's better for single target enemies. Let's keep on thrusting. We've broken his stance, just keep on going at him and we should be able to finish him. There we go. Yeah, that whole thing about my mother being a yokai in this. How does that work? I'm a bit confused. Also, that's skeleton archer up there, I'd imagine. I think probably, seeing as it collapsed into multiple pieces on death. Most people don't collapse into multiple pieces. It's a safe assumption. Again, we have to actually fight this guy. Since when do we have to fight these graves? I usually don't bother for them. Looks like this guy has... is it Tonfa? I want to say? Is what the, like, little wooden sticks you have in your arms are. I mean, he seems to be doing alright. He's using a high stance. I'm about able to kill him just with my superior reach. That's bad. I thought there'd be a banister behind me, there wasn't. I just fell to my death. God damn it. It's why I like fighting in larger areas. I've said it in the past, I don't know why I backed up into an area which wasn't as open. But yeah, larger areas means you've got less to worry about. I just tend to back up a lot when fighting enemies, use the reach I have to my advantage. Yeah, that archer from before, they were on top of this building, so I need to be careful in that regard. Just murder this woman. Just stab, stab, and stab, and one last thrust. Okay. What is up with this pot? I genuinely do not know. It looks like a kind of toxic barrel kind of thing. Let's just shoot this small child in the eye, though. It's the only reasonable thing to do. There we go. I'm sorry, small child, but you're not turning into a big, like, Cyclops man this time. Yeah, skeleton here, leg sweep him, and just finish him off. Leg sweep is good. I do like it for just getting that little bit extra in. Yeah, this Graves one that comes back. Can't get a free hit in. Thought I might be able to cheat it. I'm not able to. Okay, this time he's using either medium or low stance, seemingly, because he's doing a lot of just like kind of lower down attacks. Okay, this is fine. Just god, he can just power on through my attacks is the thing. I need to get a better read on how much reach I have. It's hard when you're fighting a staircase to have a read of that. Okay, that was like a key recovery barrel. Alright. So that was a beneficial thing. I need to finish this guy off. Maybe just use my quicker attacks. Okay, come on. There we go. He's dead. Thank God. Okay. I had to use 2 elixirs in that, man. I don't like how some of these Graves do just come back to fight. This has been a real pain to put up with. Skeleton over here though. Just shoot an arrow in. Apparently missed. Okay, that almost hit me. Thankfully we're quite far away, so it's easy enough to dodge. There we go. And there's a guy immediately above me. I can tell by the mini-map and I heard him earlier. It's you. A guy playing the guitar. Let's get rid of you. I don't like you, Mr. Shamisen player, I believe the instrument would be. I think it's a shamisen. You're shooting me. It's you. What? Is that a hand cannon? I'd say probably. It looks somewhat cannon-like. And you're holding it in your hands. Okay. Leg sweep. Hail. And we're done. And yeah, hand cannon ammunition he had on him. Yeah, Shamisen players, Soul Core. How interesting. Were they buffing the nearby demon types? I guess. That's my guess. I could see it making sense. I have to fight another one of them. But we've also got you. Oh, Mr. Owl. Goodbye, please. There we go. And off he goes. You've got an achievement for doing that. That's quite good. That guy seems to be on patrol. If we can fight him, then yeah. Using the Dachi. Hello, my good man. Just get some fire on you. Burst counter. almost, but he didn't actually hit me with it, so that's a shame. Try not to roll off the edge, actually. It's a good thing to not do. Okay, we're doing fine. Let's try to grab me. Just back off. This is all going quite well. Just get another one of them in. More fire damage. He's now on fire. Burst counter this. Didn't actually counter it. It's a shame. There we go. Man's dead. If he drops an elixir, yeah, I'm gonna heal. Because we need that quite badly. God, you take a lot of damage when doing these fights. Because I'm in a new area, I'm getting a lot less elixir drops than I'd like as well. It's not ideal. At the very least, I figured out how to use a spear well. So I'm very happy about that. Because, I mean, look at this. I'm just murdering that man now. Spear I don't think works as well against larger targets. For smaller ones it is perfectly good. And that apparently, by rolling into that barrel, has infused it with some kind of magic. Ah, it's blessed! It's a barrel of blessed water. Awesome. Just murder you. There we go. Got a Kadama. Just engage you. Yes, I can. See? Now, Archer was shooting at me a moment ago. From where? Is it that guy up there? I think so. Oh my good sir. He's gone. There is a person in that tree. Do I care? Not particularly. It's just a Gaki. I can finish him off another time if I need to. Like, they're not going to give me much in a way of benefit from killing them. Ah, God. Okay. They caught me with that. I was distracted momentarily. That's on me. Let me have a quick drink of water. Respawn. Alright. You spawn pretty far back, don't you? Well, actually, if we are at a shrine, new area means new blessing. What blessing can I currently take? Looks like I found maybe one of each. Found all but the samurai. Okay. Healer blessings only when I want though. It's always nice having extra bit of elixir just at hand. Yeah, now we just need to make our way through all of this area again. Just murder you. You know the drill. He dies quite easily. Man up here can just stab you, knock you down, and then impale you. But I like the spear. It's a good time. I said it before, but it really is fun. It's more satisfying than the Adachi. Although the Adachi, I mean, is almost definitely the more powerful weapon. This guy just eats a bit of me each time he licks me. And then if he eats enough, he turns into, I guess, the big fella? Like big one-eyed Oni, is it? I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Take out the ranged one. I've got a guy just up there. You can go murder him easily. Just check him up. Impale him. Then a single stab. Give you some explosive rounds. How fun, I guess. I mean, I'm happy enough still just using a bow. It has to be said, the bow does a good enough job. I don't tend to use ranged for anything other than like quick targeting. The bow definitely seems to be quicker of choices. Now in here, I did take out that owl seems to be the thing which makes things respawn. Similar to how like a dark zone would work. go. What else around this side? This is a side area. Huh? I'll come back here once I've got my grave. That very much feels like it's a way forward, judging by like where the map marker's telling me to go. Oh, did I say map marker? It's like compass direction thing. Someone spotted me. Who spotted me? I don't know. It's probably fine. Let's just murder you quick. Okay, and now I just stab you. There we go. You're doing a grand old job. Had to block that last one. But there we go. Fine. All good. We're not dead yet. Just activate a pot. Gets me blessed weapon for a short while. What have we got around here? Okay, no, this definitely looks like the way it wants me to go. I don't want to go that way then. I want to go the like weird kind of side route that I found. It's very, very much hidden away in the back, wasn't it? Look at those. Yeah, hidden here. In the dark. It's hard to spot. Corpse is just on the branches. Who spotted me? A ranged guy in here. Alright. Trip you up. Stab you. And then impale. Lovely. Yeah, which way now? I'm gonna go this way. This way seems more dangerous, but it also is like a shrine gate. Or is it a Torii gate, I want to say. Is it a Torii gate? I think that's what it is, but ah god, damn it, there was a dog. Okay, you can't leg sweep a dog. I don't know why I tried that. Leg sweep this man. Heal. There we go. Heal up quick. Drop some poison because we're trapped in this bridge for a while. Yeah, that's both him and the dog poisoned. It doesn't mean a lot, but it does definitely help. I wasn't going to use that poison anywhere else, really. It's just, that was a convenient spot. Because we had to go through a choke point. Now, any Kadama around here? This place seems out of the way. There's bound to be a Kadama or something, right? Got that man there. He's ranged, so let's just stay away from him, it's fine. Okay, grapple this man. So, grapple him. Okay. Apparently not. Okay, now we grapple him. There we go. Got a ranged person. Just impale, leg sweep, and then heal once more. Spear's fun to fight with, and yeah, here's a Kadama. Knew there'd be one somewhere. Okay. Anything else in here? I mean, Thermal Remedy, Magic Locks. It's quite nice. It's, in fact, very nice. Let's immediately use some skill points then. For example, I want to get up to... Was it this one? Yes, take this. Damage of thrust attacks has now been increased. Lovely, lovely stuff. So I'm doing a lot of thrusting. It's the speed of enemies. Ooh, that one could be fun. You know what? Yeah. I don't need any, like, steel talisman, I think. Yeah, let's go with this. Sloth talismans could be better than lifesteal. Lifesteal keeps you alive, that's for certain. But I mean, they'll just slow down the enemy. That's lovely. Anyway, be careful of this guy. Okay, we've got the status on him. Lovely. Just thrust, but not actually doing fine. I was about to say we're doing fine, but no. Tengu's a lot more dangerous than I ever give him credit for. I just need to be a lot more careful around him. I was way too willing to just jump into that man. Okay. We're all the way back here, we didn't open up any shortcuts or anything. Let's just stab the Gaki. Go. And I believe if we're careful, we should be able to just run around the side. Guy aggro on us, but it's only them. They're not a tough one. You can just impale them. Yeah, there we go. I also noticed I used blessed arrows. I don't want to be using blessed arrows. That's for if there's something I need to kill from a range, rather than just pick off with just a single shot. Okay. Just continue to stab you. Didn't get a trip in there. That's a shame. But, I mean, I can just impale him. There we go. We're fine. I always worry about going up to this kind of an area. We're getting new bows and such, like, maybe it's time for a new bow? What level are we at? Yeah, level 37 bow. We have a level 47. Yeah. It's got to be the right move. Okay. Next, this area should be pretty much safe and just waltz on through. Tengu... Was it the bridge over to the side? So I don't actually know what we need to do here. I'll just murder the skeleton regardless, but... Ah! Tengu's here. Got it. We're not going to get a drop on him, but we are able to get a bit of damage in. Okay. Tengu could be knocked down into the ravine. That is definitely a thing that's possible. It's not the most possible, but it is possible. If I'm careful, then I won't fall into it myself. And if I'm extra careful, I can push him out. Okay. Nope, that's not working. Okay, just be careful, I'm gonna back off quick. Let's get some fire damage. Hail, block, and hail again. First counter round, we're doing well. Continue to stab him, and there we go. Tengu's down. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Maybe Tengu aren't actually as dangerous as I gave them credit for. I mean, we're still not friendly. Like, don't get me wrong, they very much will kill me given half a chance. But maybe they're not quite as bad as I thought. Let's just murder you real quick. There we go. Get a soul core for him. Lovely to get. Down there, do you have any reason to kill the one-eyed Oni? What into that house? That house is a hot spring. Okay, I've got a reason to go down there and kill the one-eyed Oni. Not paying attention yet, let's just do this. Stab, stab and stab. Back away, get fire damage in. 1, 2, 3, back away. 1, 2, and just back away a bit. Looks like take a hit there. Managed to burst counter, and that should be hopefully dying. Look at that. Now we get a chest as well. I mean, I need a new Adachi. That isn't Adachi. Sadly, not like an epic or whatever quality one. Like, ideally, I'd like to be able to trade in the hero hatchets. Although, it's only level 46. Yeah, if I get to level 52, That's a significant increase from level 43. I'd be happy with that. But I think you need to have like close to 10 level difference to make any like major change. At least if you're max familiarity. Finding that to be roughly where they line up with each other. Okay, for now though, we're just heading this way. Looks like we've got another glowing thing. Got, yeah, someone in there. Didn't trust that. Okay. I'm fighting old woman, I need to do this attack here. Okay. That's fine. We're doing fine. Can I break her horns? Like, it's not happening. Okay, just murder her instead, apparently. That's fine. I'm happy to do that, murder. In here, nothing. In here, something. So you, so I want to go over to the Adachi. First counter, didn't quite manage to time it right. That's a shame. It's fine enough though. Good jumping in. It's all good by me. Trying to burst counter, but manage that. It's hard to get the timings right for burst counters, you know. Especially when you've not really fought the enemies before. Like, I am just trying to defend my honour here, pretty much. Managed to get one there. I'm surprised. But I managed. I guess I do surprise myself at times, and that hurts quite a lot. Okay. Be careful. Let's keep on going. I need like a couple more hits. There we go. Okay. That's big enemy taken care of for this area. That means it should be safe. I mean, there's an obvious way it wanted me to go. Then there's also this. Where, that's... someone has ambushed me. Ouch. Just take a step back. Need to heal up. Go over to the spear. Leg sweep. Nope. Didn't work. Okay, just do that. Now leg sweep. Now he's backed away with that. Yeah, no, he's good at backing away from this. Not just lunge at him. There we go. That does the job perfectly. Got the archer. Yeah, I can just murder an archer. Alright, what do we have up here? I mean, down there we've got... That was a guy defending a bridge previously, wasn't it? Where I think I am? So? Where the hell does this lead then? This leads... Okay, this is the alternate route I could have taken. Possibly an easier route than having to fight a Tengu. But, I mean, sure, why not? Why not? That's fine. Okay. Okay. Into the tunnels. There is a Gaki. We're in a cave now, so keep an eye on the ceiling. Not any, like, new enemies hidden amongst the shiny bits. No? No. Not yet. Nothing gonna drop down on me while I'm fighting Gaki. Nope. Okay. Just impale, impale, impale again. And now I get to just murder them. Impale, impale, impale the third. And there we go. The Gakis are nice and easy to take down, so long as you half pay attention. And what the hell is that? I'm worried what I'm walking into here. Yeah, hello. Time thought he died in the way. See those red eyes, like burns.
この先も気を抜かないで。
Stay alert and take this.
この
Bell
辺りに光
beckoning.
る壺。もう誰
See
も
glowing
使わない
jars, use them, no one else is going to now. Okay, she's not going to come join me. But she will at least give me moral support. I guess that's useful. Yeah, what does this do? It's damage versus revenants. Ah! Is it this guy who's summoning the revenants who are about? Ah! John! Hello! Good to see you. Good to see you. Hell's a mortal soul core. Okay. Level up. No power in this house. Sure, whatever you say. Whatever you say, John. How you been doing? You been doing fine? I should say, the Femboy Friday goal's not quite been filled. I'm just gonna do it anyway, I think. Just because we're coming up to the, like, charity month thing that I'm doing. So, I mean, I might as well just do it before we get into the charity month, I feel. The house has no power. I mean, yeah. I'm a bit confused entirely about what you're saying, but sure. I'm just gonna pretend I understand. I'm gonna pretend I understand. Okay, there's a lot of people with guns. Someone with a gun is shooting me from all the way over there. Is it you? Do you have a gun? They might have a gun. Who knows? They might have had a gun. All I know is there's a house down there. There's very much an umbrella just sitting there, wanting to be murdered. I'm gonna go murder it. On the other hand, we've got like Oni and various things. Thinking what I want to do is I want to go along the rooftops. It seems like, at least to me, this area has the, what you call it, like dark realm stuff down underneath on the ground, and I almost fell off. I'm glad you can catch yourself from one of those stumbles. It's very nice not just immediately falling down. Okay, stay to the roof. Just trip the guy up. They've fallen down. Lovely to see. Okay. Yokai will appear from this. It's a Tengu. Okay, I can be a Tengu. Just get some fire in here. Ouch. I might have spoken too soon about being able to beat a Tengu. I seem to be about managing. So to be careful still though. Okay. He's in the air. He's just doing a slash at me. Burst counter him. Try and stab him. It didn't quite work. We need more fire. God, he does a lot of damage. I think I've knocked him to his death. Yeah, there we go. I got a title, Gravity Master, for murdering people using gravity, I'd imagine. Yeah. Where exactly am I supposed to go? Yell down in the beach. Seems like an idea. Is it? Yeah, it's that guy there who I need to kill to dispel the area. So honestly, dropping down to the beach might not be a bad idea. If I can get an ambush on him. Just clear out the roof first though, because I mean the roof seems to have like special stuff. I mean there's an entire ladder. It may link, I don't know if it actually leads anywhere. Very much doubt it. Like, surely it's not going to lead anywhere, that link. Yeah, don't want to drop to there. Okay, where do I fight this lad from? Honestly, there's not anyone around him. Except from that Oni there. So I want to fight him probably around this kind of an area. If I drop down on top of him now, yeah, that's a good amount. 1, 2, 3. I switch to high stance. Burst counter. Ah, there is a woman. Okay. God damn it. Of course it's not going to be that easy. The game just wants to murder me. Guess I'll lure him down to the beach. Now, how far back am I? Not too far back. Let's go on the rooftops again, I think. Should be fine. Just use this weapon now. Spear's fun and all, but I mean, it actually murders things a lot better. I do feel safer with a spear, I do think. Let's murder this guy. Okay, we're doing mostly fine. Okay, we're doing good. Next, got this man. Just try and knock him down. There we go. Tengu won't appear again. Tengu's a one-time thing because he came from one of the like dark spot things. So let's drop down here. Let's defeat the yokai in this area, which is that man there. We're gonna fight him. I want to try and be in a good spot to do so. Let's head down towards the beach. Try and clear this out if it can be. Oh, alright, I'll see you in a second, John. Don't you worry. Yeah, okay, we need to get you. Come on, yokai. Change over to the Adachi. Get some fire damage in. Fine. We are in yokai, like Dark Realm place though, so be careful. Ah, that hurt. I need to heal. Okay, heal. Oh, lovely. Burst counter. Attack it afterwards. God, I had better reach than I thought. We're doing well though. We're on fire. We're taking a good amount of damage. Burst counter this. And finish it. No, I burnt to death before I could. That's fine. We're dead now. That's what matters. I'm happy. Okay, we need to get some revenge. Where's that old woman? She's inside here. Oh, old woman. Stab, stab, stab. Okay, we need to do the kind of windmill, or water wheel I think it was called, slash. Just need to get that little bit of damage into her horns. Ah, that's painful. She's falling on the ground though. Finish her off. There we go. Heal up. Good. That's us. Apparently that ladder there was kick downable. Would have maybe been nice. That's fine. We can just go take out this Oni. Heal. Back away now. I need to switch for my like ammo type on my weapon, on my bow. We don't have any normal arrows. Okay, that's why I was using fancy ones. Got it. That's all good. I was just confused there for a minute. Okay. Mr. Yokai Man. Didn't quite burst counter. Came close. Come on. I can get you. Come on. There we go. Down goes big yokai. Anything else being cleaned up here? Seemingly no. Anything in here? Yes, an umbrella. Okay. Nothing too hard. What's in here? Nothing. I don't buy that. Yeah, of course. I'm gonna do a backflip. Seems to always be a safe choice. Isn't like a backflip. I'll do a thumbs up. Thumbs up is apparently it. Okay. We pleased him. He's all good. What we found? I didn't expect to actually run into a different area. I thought this would just be a hot spring. It usually is. What the hell are we doing in here? Okay, a little confused, but I mean I can still do it. There we go. Got an elixir back. Where the hell are we? It's like a side route. Okay. It's not very useful anymore, but maybe it would have been. Yeah, this feels like kind of boss arena vibes through here. Data black would suggest I'm correct. Boss fight with a friend, perhaps? Yeah, owl from before. Shoot it at its third eye seemed to do a good job previously. What are they doing? Am I fighting her? Oh no. Or is she just trapped while I fight him? She's just trapped while I fight him. Because I shot him in the eye before, he's actually lost some of his, like, stuff, apparently. Okay. Don't know what his attack patterns are. I mean, fire's got to help, right? Blocking, I mean, doesn't seem to help much. This is a weird boss. Poison, maybe? Does poison do something? I mean, apparently not, really. God, that laser beam. That's painful. So to dodge that. Okay. Doing moderately okay, but we've not got a lot of damage in. Yeah, I'm just gonna lose here, I think. Not on purpose. I'm gonna learn the most I can before I do. But, yeah. Thinking maybe a dash as well. It seems I need to hit his eyes? Yeah, hitting his eyes does a job. There we go. Got one last eye to hit. Okay, yeah, a dash is the way to go with this one. It's all terribly dark now. Ouch. Okay. You can still summon stuff. We're doing moderately okay. Okay. I don't like how he just disappears at times. It's not great. His eyes are vulnerable again though. He's in the air, however, so I can't hit him. Oh no, he only had his eyes open for a short while. He's not actually vulnerable. Although, no, now he is. Ah, God, I need to heal. I don't have any healing. Lifesteal Talisman. Go. Nah. Okay. That's fine. I now know the Dachi is better than a spear for this guy. He's big, he's slow, He lives down below. Just managed to make it right. That's what matters. There's no need to worry about anything else. Back through. We only have 4 things of healing. It's not ideal. I can do it. This is fine. Blocking is really not as worthwhile as I would have thought. I thought maybe after I found some success with it, it could be better. But no, it doesn't seem to be particularly great. Light, and then dodge back. I'd like to get a light steel talisman on him. There we go. Ow, that hurt. Can't see the man either. So my camera is in a wall practically. Okay, I had to use 2 of my elixirs there. That's a shame. Okay. Hit. And yeah, now he's just flying around, is he? Okay, that's not ideal. I'm just gonna let myself die because time's not going well. Again, I'm not gonna let myself die easily, but I'm not trying to win, I'm just trying to learn his attack patterns now. Okay. Blinded 2 of his eyes. Blinded 3rd? Nope. Yeah, dodging's definitely the better move. Okay. Not fine. We're not. I was about to say we were, but I saw that attack and we're not. Alright. I think we can beat this guy. Shouldn't be too tough. Shouldn't be. I like to see. I like to see. Actually didn't hurt as much as I thought it might. I tried to burst counter that for some reason, despite me knowing full well it wasn't a burst counterable thing. Okay. We're fine though, we're fine. Slash at his eye. Back away. Slash again. Doing well. Back away once more. Slash at his eye. We need to heal. Okay, you can burst counter that before he goes into the air, it would seem. I don't know how to get the timings down there though. Yeah, he's currently broken. Just shoot out the sky. No, that doesn't work. Okay, just be careful. As soon as he lands, he'll be a nuisance. There we go. Time for him to be a nuisance. Are these things his eyes now? Do I need to hit them? Yes, I do! Okay. Okay, I figured out this thing. That's all good. I'm gonna die here, not on purpose this time, but yeah, I'm gonna die this fight. There we go. But now I know how to fight this man. You need to dodge back, keep your distance, but just take out his eyes as well. I mean, the Adachi, if it's high swings, are actually just the ideal weapon, I would imagine anyway. I don't know. Does a spear have high swings? But that's not really all that high, actually. No, never mind, that one is. I can maybe use a spear. Let's compare. You know what? I'm gonna try the spear. I think the spear's slightly quicker. The Dachi might have slightly better range. It's hard to say. It's not really all that apparent. But I mean, I can definitely use the spear quicker. And that quickness has definitely just helped there. Ouch. It's not great. Lifesteal Talisman him. Okay. Ouch. That did hit me in the end. God damn the man. He's being a nuisance. Okay. Get myself into like a more comfortable position. We're gonna beat him. Do this seriously this time. I might not really speak at all, or I might just narrate simply the actions I'm doing, because that does sometimes help me focus. Let's jump in. So what's he gonna do first? Big arm swings. He's got 3 of them apparently. Now he's clawing at me. 1 hit. 2 hits? No. Only the 1. Managed to burst counter, take out another eye. Take out another eye? Nope. Not quite yet. Back away, back away. I just need to hit that eye. That's all I need. It's in the sky now though, god damn it. I need to get better at burst countering that move in particular. Okay, now heal up. He's on the ground. How hard is it to just hit his eye? Why is it such a struggle? Okay, burst counter that. We've got him anyway. His eye's not gone, but we've got him into his next phase. Heal up. Let's take out this. Okay, there we go. He's got an eye back again. I thought I'd managed to dodge that. I hadn't. Okay, heal up. Okay. I accidentally put the spear into high stance. I hadn't meant to do that. Okay. Just get this guy's eye if I can. Damn it, he's doing a number on me. I need to heal up again. Okay. Can you dodge through his attacks? Can. Okay. Burst counter. No, that didn't work. I hadn't meant to do that. I pressed the wrong button there. I did actually want high stance for quick attacks here. I had forgotten that was why I went into it. Okay. Come on. We're fine. Gonna beat the guy. I know I said this is gonna be like an attempt where it was quiet, but it's not. I apologise for lying. Okay, where's the red eye? Over here. Ouch. Okay. If we go into our yokai form this next time, if we do half decently, we're gonna be all sorted. It'll be solid. I can do this! Damn you game, I can do it! Okay. Let's go back to the Adachi. I think I prefer it. It's got higher damaging attacks, so I'm only going in for the occasional hit. I'm not staggering this big fella, so yeah. The Adachi's probably the way to go. Stay away, get a hit. Didn't hit his eye though, apparently. That almost burst countered that. I don't know what point you burst counter it at though, because it never actually hits you. It's not like a proper attack on its own. Okay. Just avoid this guy. There we go. We're doing fine enough. Just get a lifesteal talisman in there. Apparently, he's become more proficient with magic. He's in the sky again. The bastard. Deary. Okay. Okay, that's me not in a good spot. I need to heal. Okay, that lifesteal talisman's done nothing for me. That's a shame. Well, I just hit one of their eyes. It's not a lot in the grand scheme. Okay, I needed to burst counter that. I keep failing to whenever he goes into the air. Okay, got his eye again. There we go. Continue to whack him. He's not got any weak spots anymore. That doesn't mean I can't just murder him. So he keeps on going for that one thing. And, okay, no, that is an actual attack. So I know when to counter that. So when his wings come out. Fair enough. His eyes, they've stopped glowing, but they are still open. I just saw when he came up there. Like, they are entirely open still, or he maybe has translucent eyelids? I don't know. But I am just dying, which isn't great. I need to burst counter him, but he doesn't let me. Just about the sky. Lovely. There we go. We get a big old hit. Back away. Heal up for the last time. Honestly, just do this. It's just murder this thing. That gets him onto the ground. I now get to do a finishing thing. Apparently not. I was slightly too slow. Still get out some of his eyes though. Doing a good job. He's in the air. He's not able to be currently knocked down. His stance was broken, he was in the air. I could. With an arrow. I swear that should have hit him. Didn't. Should have hit his eye. Really need to get that last eye. Come on, game. Be kin to me. Nope, you're not being kin to me. Okay, fair enough. Don't be kin to me then. Still manage this. It's gonna be tough because I'm about dead. Can't. Just you watch. No, I can't. God damn it! I got so close! Got so close. Chances are, after I win this boss fight, I will just call the stream there. Because this boss fight is getting on my nerves. I think if I had a better adachi with better damage on it, I would have won that time. I just don't. It annoys me. Okay. That didn't actually get him. He's doing a ranged attacks, just run up close. That's maybe not what you do then. Just dodge him. Okay. Need to heal now. It's a lot wider sweeps than I'd like to think he does. He's also got that, which I did manage to avoid. First counter there. Didn't hit his eye. That, I feel, should have hit his eye with one of those attacks, but apparently not. Just run up to him. Okay. And no, I need to roll to his side when he does that. Damn him! Okay, got a burst counter, but I need to heal. Then swipe his eye. Goes into the air. Can I, like, get him out? No, he's not gone airborne entirely. Okay. What do I need to go fight? Up there. Okay. Heal. That. I'm just dead. Don't like this boss. He's a pain. Why is he such a pain? He's just a big owl. With, I mean, an extra eye, but he shouldn't be that tough. I just need to hit his eyes. That's his weak point. Get a single burst counter, and then I'm sorted. But it just feels I'm not hitting his eyes half the time when I should be. Or when I feel I should be. Got one there. That's good. I didn't get one there. I feel I should have hit one of his eyes. He's in the sky. That's fine. Let him do his thing. Burst counter. Got one of his eyes. That's good. Okay, need to get one last eye, if possible. Let's try and stick to the side of him. There we go. Got both his eyes. Let's get a single burst counter now, and that should be it. Just need to keep running around like a maniac. Nope, that didn't burst counter. I hate this fella. I really do. Back away. Land a hit. Okay, heal up. Heal was worth it, it saved my life. But he's still doing a number on me. Doesn't launch into the air. What he does do is spawn this, so murder it. Need one last hit. There we go. Annoyingly, he didn't get knocked to the ground after that. I feel he should have. Why didn't? Like last time I finished that off, he had a vulnerable phase where I got to get a grapple in. Alright. That's fine, I guess. Just keep a bit of distance. Okay. Fine, I've got some blessed I can get on him. That's him broken immediately. Lovely. Land one last hit. Ah, some of his burst counter will try to turn my focus to him a second too late. Okay, heal up. Need to pay attention. He's up here. Run away. Go back in for this. Just a moment. Why am I in, like, medium stats? I shouldn't be in medium stats. Why is his eyes still not back? I really feel they should be at this point. Let me just go into, like, yokai shift stance when I can. But no, that's still the time to charge. I forgot I used it earlier. It's only half health. Okay. I'm just gonna die here, aren't I? I hate this man. Oh, he's such a pain. God damn him. He's not playing consistently. Like that time I shot him out of the air, that's only ever happened once. That was purely on instinct. I took a shot at him. Somehow it paid off. I need to get a chance to attack him while he's like on the ground and broken. That's what I need. Like, it's a necessary thing pretty much. Okay, there goes one eye. He's coming in for lunge. He's doing a ranged attack while in melee range. Okay, burst counter, you're not allowed into the air this time, my good man. Alright, good owl, I guess. Okay. That's his, like, stance broken. Just need to hit him in the eye, if I can. Nope, never mind. It's not allowed. Not right now, anyway. I'm about to die to him. I desperately need to heal. Spam heal button. Countered him. Okay, there we go. He's on the ground, so I get to do, like, broken posture thing. Yeah, of course when he gets it back, he's a small AoE. That makes sense. Lifesteal, if possible, would be nice. Nope, that's me dead. The speed that he comes in, that, like, grabbing attack. Like, I thought that time was going quite well. Apparently I was mistaken. Okay, next few attempts, I've got to be able to do this. Come on, game. You've got to be kind to me one of these times. Right. In we go. Here he is. A little bit of distance while he does that. Get swiping. Had to block that one, but I'm gonna not manage to not get grabbed. Thought I timed the burst counter right, but apparently not. It's fine though, he's just doing his ranged attacks. If there's a burst counter, it's ideal, honestly. But no, it's not burst counterable. He's in the air again? Okay, that's just cheating, man. I can't hit you if you're up there. That's just mean. Okay. Nope, I'm dead. Yeah, the speed he comes in with that, I keep trying to burst counter. I feel it should be something you can burst counter, but you just can't. When he does that, you need to dodge to the side immediately. It's the only way to get him. Okay, maybe use more of the, like, sacred water barrels or whatever they are around the sides of the arena. So I know there was one once that did a good job. That's just next to him. So what if I run into this? It's like, yeah, that does an amazing job. Just getting his posture down. Just need to die quick because I was out of my key. Lovely. Okay, that one was on me. I was mostly testing things. But that barrel, definitely need to use it. Like 100%, I need it. It's not an optional thing. Here. Let's see. Can we beat him this time? I hope we can. Okay. Do more. You can just do that, apparently. That's the first time I've seen it. Managed to get a burst counter in, slash at his eyes, walk up after the laser, and he's fairly vulnerable. He's doing a ranged attack, just try and hug him close if I can. Nope. Just stay away. Swipe. Nope. Bad time to swipe. Okay, heal up again. He hit his eye. I need to. This is not happening. I mean, burst counter will help. It's not helped enough. It did help. Where am I going? I'm going to there. It's immediately next to him. It's not great. To hit it again. Ouch. Okay, no. Hate this boss, he's such a pain. Why does he make everything so dark and make you look at something that isn't him in order to get through the phase? Like, that's just cruel. I understand, like, if it was just dark, fair enough. Make it difficult to see him, you can't lock onto him from a distance. Like, that's a fairly decent concept for a boss battle. Just have you trust on your, like, more instincts, I guess. He just murders you. Because you can't see him because you're not even looking at him. Like, removing your ability to lock on is an interesting thing when fighting someone at longer range. You no longer know quite where they are because it's dark. That's fine. But it's just not that. Okay, what does he do this time? Does wing swipes. Then this. Lovely. I didn't even get a single hit in. When he's in the air, he's not even all that dangerous. I don't know why he does it. Like, I took a bit of damage here, that's just I'm not really paying attention. I mean, I should pay attention, but I wasn't. Yeah, he keeps moving in weird ways as well. Okay, heal up. Ranged attacks hurt more than I think. Okay, got one eye. That's good. Burst counter. Got another eye. Lovely. Get another eye? Yes, I got all of them. Okay, and now he's gonna go into this phase. I need to go for this. He's right next to me, so watch out. That was just him doing a laser into my back. That's cheating. Okay. And I'm dead. Right? Yeah. If he hadn't done that bloody laser, that would have been fine. Just, I can't look at him while taking out the red orb. That's not a good boss fight. I'd be fine if I just had to fight him again, but it's dark and you have less key regen because you're in the yokai realm. I'd be fine with that. But it's just not that. It just goes that one extra step further to be a nuisance because it gives you something else to look at. I need to hit him. Hit his eye. God damn the game. I think I managed to get a burst counter in. Got his eyes. Okay, we're doing fine now. Okay. He's in the air. That's a pain, but what can we do? Nothing really, because he's in the air. So I've got some of his key back. I think it's key. Yeah. It's being a nuisance again, but I can take him out. It's fine. God damn, he's in the air yet again. He's in to do something that's counterable, like the burst counter. Like that, but he didn't actually come in close enough. Okay. Keep my distance still. This is fine. It's really not fine, but it's fine. Not annoyed by the fact he's still got some of his, like, posture left or whatever. I promise, I'm not at all salty about fighting this guy. Okay, where's the thing I need to fight? It's there. Just go in for it. He's in the air currently. Just murder it. There we go. He's fallen out the sky. Just not. I got gradient, picks up the items on the ground before going for the, like, break on him. That's a shame. If I hadn't gotten greedy, that would have been fine. He's just bloody in the sky again. Can't hit him when he's in the sky. Why does he go into the sky? I understand he's a bird, but still. It's a real pain as a boss fight mechanic to have to deal with. Yeah, I'm dead here. Because that was dodgeable, wasn't it? I hate this. Bloody hate this. Now, I've got my spirit man back again. If I get this guy to half health, I am just using the spirit. I'm going into like my yokai shift form, or whatever the hell you call it. And of course, because I was sprinting a moment beforehand, I don't get to do the big downward slash, it was the sprint attack. Okay, that one's on me, to be fair. But still, I'm a bit annoyed about it. Still. Okay, swipe at his eye, got one of them. Got another. Got another. Fine. We're fine. Just hide from that projectile-based attack. So again, there we're doing well. First counter him. Okay, got a good amount of damage in. Where's the thing I want? It's over there. Just get some like stamina back. There we go. Just walk up to him from a stab. Lovely. Back away. Yeah, we're doing... I was about to say, well... I got greedy. Fucking going for his eye. I don't like this boss. It'd be fine maybe if I had more healing. But he's just such a bloody nuisance. How are you supposed to reasonably fight this guy? When he doesn't stay on your same vertical plane. Okay. Dodge, dodge, throw that in. Burst counter. Just murder him. Apparently broken him already, which I'm quite frankly amazed at. Just need to hit this. Continue to dodge around while I attack it. Is it once more? No, one last time. Apparently. Come on, one hit. I need one hit on it. Now he's just murdering me. Yeah, he doesn't even break. Like, normally they go into posture where you can get a free grapple on them. But he just didn't this time, did he? Okay, there we go. Fine. Murdering him. This is all good. Just avoid. Yes. Cool. It's good to see. Another like pot we can break open. So I probably will while he's in the air. Just try and lure him over here if possible. There we go. That's him now able to just die for a bit. Or not. Okay, over to this. There we go, and he's able to be hit here with a grapple. Lovely. Back away. Try and hit his eye. No, we just can't hit his eye while he's hovering. Okay, heal up. He's in the air. Once he lands, I'm going into my yokai shift form, I think. But no, once we get him so his eyes are broken again, I'll go to yokai shift form. Be careful. Okay, one eye broken. It's just going for the wings. Almost got his eye there. I was just playing it careful, so that's fine. We're doing well this time. I don't want to ruin it. Okay. You know what? I think now's about the time for the yokai shift. do this. Come on, just break him. Come on. I just need to spam it at this point. But you know what? Spam this. Get in for quick. Like finisher. Nope, finisher didn't work. That did not as much damage as I'd hoped. The yokai shift. If I'd got that finisher, I would have been fine probably. For some reason I just didn't. Okay. Still be careful. He's low. We're doing well. Just launch some fire at him, get a little bit of bonus damage for myself. Okay. Yeah, that should have hit his eye, but it didn't. Okay, I'm used to that though. Just counter him. We're fine. He's one hit away. There we go. Oh, thank God, there we go. Okay. That's it for the stream, because I hated that. That's a horrible fight. Like, I genuinely did not enjoy that at all. He's trying to say something to us. We don't know what it is. I don't care. He's dead. He's dead. Is this when we learn that that's the hilt for a larger sword? Like the talisman amulet thing she has, it's definitely a hilt.
その小刀は
We get to learn of her backstory, okay. Cutscenes are always a bit stuttery, aren't they?
ソハヤ州
So she was found as a child after her parents were killed, seemingly. Then raised to be a demon hunter.
あやかしを借り続けてきたソハヤの刀が光を取り戻す時常闇を払い亡者を清めると聞くこの手に残されていた唾が輝く道筋をようやく示した
Assuming now we have a different main goal of complete the sword. Alright.
Minna, 成仏できたみたい
Their spirits dead, seemingly, we've just put to rest. I'm a bit confused. We've got our friends, that's always good. That's it. Yes, I now have that, like, mermaid. Do I want to use the mermaid spirits? Possibly. I'm not certain, you know. We'll need to figure stuff out. But, never mind, we've got another cutscene.
松永男児を久秀信長様の道柳に参じようついでに家康殿へも加勢を求める早馬を 柄にもない真似を。
It's got a spider as a
あ
helmet.
れはお味方ですから。
He doesn't seem to be the most trustworthy. Spiders, I think, are usually linked with like scheming and that in Japanese lores. I'm not certain. But yeah, that is it for now. Apparently become an owl if we ever want to. Or actually that's a ranged attack. Could be half decent. Whereas this one lets me be a flamethrower. Also comes with an enemy sensor. I'm gonna equip it for the enemy sensor alone. Like, that just sounds nice. But yeah, that is it for now. We've apparently got an online mission. Don't know what that means. Well, maybe give that a go next time. For now though, that has been me. As usual, I've enjoyed myself. Love this game. I do hope anyone else who's been watching has enjoyed. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, or whatever it may be. And I will hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.